I have in my hand a 72 watt LED panel light. Its dimensions are 600 millimeters by 1200 millimeters. Basically designed for office use. It's for basically new installs or for retrofitting where there was fluorescent lights previously. So these are a fantastic innovation. The huge advantages of them are, number one, there's huge energy savings because they're the equivalent of 144 watt fluorescent light or 4 36 watt TA tubes. And the other thing about them is they're incredibly easy to install, so that's another great thing, and we'll see how easy and flexible they are to work with, and much less brittle in terms of working with fluorescents. And then the next thing on them is that the life expectancy on them, they're rated for 35,000 hours of continuous use. And indeed, Manhattan are giving a 5-year warranty on them. It really is something that they're pushing very heavily into this market. They're a real premium brand to deal with right across the range of products that they're supplying. So what I'm going to do at this point is I'm just going to rotate this so people can just see one of the most impressive areas here, and that's the thickness of it. It's only 9 millimeters thick. It's just incredibly do. So it just drops literally directly straight down, and it fits directly into the grid structure that people always see in office things, which are always the 600 by 600s. I think the actual width might be 595, it was to be exact. So what we have, how it comes is, it literally comes in a large pizza box, something like this. So you can see it's incredibly thin because of the nature of the thing, and it's just saying that it's up to 80% energy savings on what you would have had traditionally before this. It's a natural white light on it, so it makes it actually extremely easy to work with. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to show the other part of the trick here, which is we have a transformer here. So basically we have an output that's DC. So we're getting an output here of between 24 and 42, or 27 and 42 volts, which is rated at 1.8 amps. So that's about 72 watts. And on the input side, basically we're feeding it directly in this case from a mains. So if we just see, this is exactly how it comes with this lead outfit. In the box we also have this little electrical junction joiner here. So what we've actually used that to do is join directly off a 3-pin power lead, and it just goes directly in. And what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to just line this up, and what we're going to do is we're actually going to come along, I'm going to turn off the lights here, and I'm going to show you just how powerful this is. So my lovely assistant's going to knock off these lights, and we'll do this one, and I'm going to match it here exactly in terms of my timing, and we can see here. It's just absolutely fantastic. And the great thing about this is there's so modular things like this, and they work so well in terms of the grid structure. You can just move it around and drop it directly in where you need it. So in terms of the light thing here, now, we've been massively impressed with it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to disconnect this. We're going to turn our lights back on. And so what I've really liked about this is there's 2 versions of it. This is the longer version, and as popular as this is because it's slotting in directly where the fluorescent light would have been previously, we have a smaller version as well, and a big advantage of that is it's quite modular as well, so you can actually drop it directly over each person's workstation if you wanted it and get the light exactly where you want it here. So the energy savings are great, they're easy to install, very, very straightforward for electricians. But most of the time what electricians will be doing will actually be taking out things like fluorescents with starters, all the rest of it, just replacing that whole unit and dropping these directly in. And they're very transportable as well, so it's easy for us because we're obviously distributing via the internet to be able to ship these directly off to different places. So that's it anyway, an overview of the 72 watt LED panel lighting, 600 by 1200, available in the electrical section on freetv.ie.